cloth, then you don't get any bleeding. As soon as you use a cloth, you start getting bleeding. It's because if you don't remove the carbon residues, that is clotted. It doesn't actually get any bleeding. As soon as you start removing the carbon residues, you start getting bleeding back. So what is the real difference between most coagulators and plasma devices for aesthetic purposes? As said, as the main This is an old presentation being given a number of times, and we're going to repeat it right now for yourselves, and then we're going to talk about what is available out there. We're going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully we're going to make some clarity into the unclear world of plasma, and it's made unclear on purpose. Anyway, so what is plasma really? The first way something that's close to what we're using for aesthetic purposes is electrofulguration. Electrofulguration is an electrical arc, is exactly plasma. And this picture has been in the literature for so many years now, far longer than we actually have seen plasma for aesthetic purposes. But the point is, since this was only for the use of doctors, it's been, and there weren't any YouTube, anything, no internet. All this knowledge was confined only to medical doctors who were removing moles, or they were actually doing minor procedures on the skin, minor operations for coagulation, and so on. So we've got two types of procedures using the same sort of physics. One is called electrofulguration, which is the electrical arc, and which causes that carbonization, that brown spot, brown dot that you all know. Yes, are you familiar with that brown dot that you get? Yes. So that is that thing. Okay, it's called carbonization. So it's nothing new. We haven't reinvented the wheel. It's been there for many years and used in medicine before it was used in aesthetics. And electrodesiccation is the same principle in physics, but using a lower voltage and a return plate. I'm not going to go into detail about the difference between the two, but basically what happens in electrofulguration, you've got a voltage which is quite high, normally in the region of kilohertz. The frequency is quite high as well, in the region of kilohertz. What we've got in the mains is 50 hertz. And if you touch the mains, although you can get an electrical spark, you're going to really feel it. You're going to have you can feel the electric shock. An electric shock is really the electromuscular stimulation. That happens because the frequency of the mains, which is 50 hertz, interferes with our neuromuscular frequency. Therefore, our muscles tighten, and we actually have all the current going through our body, and it actually interferes with our muscles and our organs. And also, if you take in a certain way an electric shock, a stupid electric shock from one of these sockets without an RCD, which normally is in there everywhere in the world now, you can actually die because of a cardiac arrest, because the current goes through your heart, interferes with the signals, and it causes cardiac arrest. That doesn't happen in this case. Why? We're able to hit the skin with a voltage that is even higher than that. The voltage is there in the region of 220 volts. We're talking about over 1,000 volts in many cases in there. Yet, you have the electrical spark, and we're not dying. Nothing is happening to us. We just feel in the burn, and that's it. Nobody dies, even the ones who's got heart problems and the pacemakers and so on. It's because of the frequency. The frequency is so high that the electricity goes all throughout our outer part of the body. I haven't actually made a presentation to show you all these pictures and everything, but so the arc ablation is responsible to remove moles and benign skin lesions in general. So I'm just talking about the physics. in this case, so we've got the electrical arc. Anything else that reminds you, I mean, have you seen anything similar in the, outside in the real world that is quite similar to what we're actually using?
Welding.
Yes, welding. That's one of them. Electrical welding. Anything else? Lightning. We're using the same principle as lightning. It's the same thing. Lightning is a DC, so we've got positive and negative, and you've got a DC discharge. In this case, it's an AC, so it's continuous discharge. The basic principle is the same. So, and as you know, this is used for upper eyelid tightening, skin rejuvenation, and so on. Now, we're going to take advantage of this to make a quite distinction about these electrofulguration units, which we've got units like maybe the hyfricator, someone may have known about it, electrocoagulators and so on. The main difference between our units and this unit's electrocoagulators is that the power settings of our devices, this sort of pens here, are much, much lower. So if you use an electrocoagulator, normally they have, the low power calibration of these devices makes them very precise instruments for the removal of these lesions and also for skin tightening and so on. If you use an electrocoagulator for the same purposes, you're going to find it extremely difficult. You may be able to actually do it maybe safely, but normally their power settings is too high because they're actually meant to destroy tissue and coagulate really well. So therefore, their power level is very, very high. In these particular devices, especially in the beauty tech, we've got so many power settings and they're calibrated at very, very low power settings. So low, it is so low that sometimes it's quite difficult to generate the arc, especially at the beginning when we didn't have the information accessible because we didn't actually build it. We had complaints about the beauty tech because they couldn't actually generate the arc. I said, look, hang on a second. And then I went there and said, look, hang on, and I can generate it. The problem is these units have to be calibrated at very, very low power setting. What is it? Very, very low power setting. And one of the exercises that you have to do is just do the test meet. And the way you normally do is by setting the device at the maximum power level, so you're able to generate the arc quite easily, and then you decrease the power level. And normally, and then you are trying to keep generating the arc when the power level is the minimum. And this is a constant exercise that we ask all our customers to perform, and we ask them to perform it in writing because we have the online training platform, and this is a very, very important exercise because you've got to be able to generate the arc when the device is at minimum power level.
In practice, one needs to work on a piece of meat or like chicken wings. You need fish. You can't practice on a practice pad. You have to have a fish.
You have to have some flesh, and please don't take this exercise as ridiculous, although it sounds like it. It's so much not ridiculous that people charge a lot of money to actually go through burning a piece of chicken. I'm actually not joking. The Plexer guys have actually charged doctors a lot of money to just go have a doctor there. Hang on, okay. That's the chicken. That's the arc. Come on, do it. And they really charge you a lot of money. So it's quite easy for you to go to the butcher, get some chicken, get some meat, and do the exercise yourself. And you save yourself loads of money and time because you actually do it in your own time. As a fundamental exercise, you must do it with any device because that exercise is meant for you to do two things. One is understand how powerful these things are because it actually burns flesh. So you understand that firsthand. And number two, if you're using these type of devices, especially ours, you've got to be able to generate the arc when the device is set at minimum power level. And that is quite difficult. It generally takes 2 days. The first day, you're not able to do it. The second day, sometimes all of a sudden it clicks. So the first day is you just say, okay, you go maximum power level, you can do it. Then you just decrease, and then you freaking out, it's not working. And then the second day, you try again because you tried already. Somehow, you're all of a sudden able to actually generate the ARCA minimum power level. And this is the ARCA minimum power level that makes these instruments really good for skin tightening and especially eyelid tightening. This is a picture of electrocoagulation. We put it there. This is one of our first PowerPoint presentations. We put it there to emphasize one thing. We are talking about not something new. It's been marketed as something, a new technology. New technology, my brother. Because it's been there for a long time. It's just been remarketed to you. That's all it's been done. It's been remarketed to you, and it's now used for beauty therapy. This is a classic picture that's taken from the textbooks, and it shows you electrocoagulation using fulguration. Because fulguration or electrical arcing, fulguration is it's just a fancy word for saying electrical arcing or plasma. Plasma is another fancy word, that's all it is. And it's used as a blood vessel and actually coagulates that, and it stops you from bleeding. This is one of the reasons why if you remove a mole and you don't wipe it off the carbon residues using the cloth, then you don't get any bleeding. As soon as you use the cloth, you start getting bleeding. It's because if you don't remove the carbon residues, that is clotted. Doesn't actually get any bleeding. As soon as you start removing the carbon residues, you start getting bleeding back. So what is the real difference between most coagulators and plasma devices for aesthetic purposes? As I said, the main difference is the power setting, the power calibration. That is the main difference. The circuitry, in cases, the circuitry has been calibrated ad hoc to be to be very good for this sort of aesthetic procedures. The casing has been designed in a way that is appealing to you as far as possible. We have designed ours to look like a dildo, especially for women, right? If you've seen our device, yeah. It doesn't, it just look, don't you agree? I showed this device that we've designed to my uncle. I said, oh, are you in dildos? No. Okay, now, so in aesthetic purposes, these devices are used using the same technology, the same thing, but a lower power setting. This is why it's very important that you're able to use, if you use our beauty tech, you use it at lowest power level. It's one of the safest devices, if not the safest devices on the market, simply because, as we'll do a slight talk about that in a second, the lowest power setting of the beauty tech is the lowest there is on the market. It's so low that it's really hard to actually get that device to spark when you have it set at level 1 or 3 battery configuration. It's not easy. I can do it because I've done it for so many times. It's second nature to me. And the market also is completely different to what has been done so far for medical purposes. For medical purposes, you go to the doctor, you remove them all. It's very easy. Yeah, so you mentioned it. This is all it is. It's an electrical arc. You call it plasma, you call it fibroblast, you call it whatever you want to call it.
Can we call it plexus?
Call it?
Plexus.
No, that's a trademark.
Yeah, because plexus, you can call it plexa.
Please
Yeah.
explain that, because some people think plexus is something different to plasma.
Oh yes, now plexer, a core, fibroblast, whatever you're going to call it, they've got different, they're trademarks really. Oh, they're trademarks. So if you do a plexer procedure, you do the same thing as we do in ours. You can call it plasma, you can call it electrical arcing, you can go voltaic arcing, you can go flame, you can go plume, call it whatever you like, but as long as you know what it is, okay? But the point is, in 2012, when I actually started looking at it, they call it plasma. Why? Because if you say, look, I'm going to burn you with an electrical arc, I'm going to spark you. I'll spark you, give me £500. Yeah? Can you imagine that? No, but I'm using plasma. Yes, I'm using the plexer. Oh, yeah. I'm using the alcohol. £500, please. No, 500? 550?
This lady's using the accord.
You've got to be a car. £300, please. A car. So, this is what I mean. And then it's so beautiful. I mean, they went to great, I mean, so amazing. I mean, they call it, hang on a second, I want to, okay, where is it? Oh, the fourth state of the matter. What is plasma? The fourth state of the matter. No, it's not a spark. It's the fourth state of the matter. But it's a spark. It's the same thing. So what I'm trying to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, anyone who's actually watching this video, is from a physics point of view, is the same as this ball there. I mean, the physics are the same. The calibration and everything, the design is slightly different. But the physics is the same. Don't get fooled, so to speak. Everything is actually a bit of a marketing thing. So what they're actually saying, the ion, okay, I love this. Let's have a look, see where I can. The ionization of the gases occurs in certain circumstances. This is when the medium air reaches a certain breakdown voltage, which is true. This depends on the shape of the object involved, tip effect, voltage and frequency. Okay, that's fair enough. In this presentation, it wasn't all these. Oh, yes, there it is. So it's been a long time since I've actually seen this presentation. So they call it plasma. They call it fourth state of the matter. They call it, oh, I love this word, sublimation. Because all of a sudden we are sublime. Yes? £500, please. I'm sublime. I sublimate your skin. Yes? Because if I use a spark, it's not good. Yeah? But it's actually, come on, it's an electrical spark, electrical arc. It's the same thing. Okay, so again, even looked at its new sublime technology. They wrote it down. It's new sublime technology. It's amazing what people go, the extent that they go to, even university professors. We've actually found in certain studies, I'm not going to go into, I think I will actually go into this in a second, but we found incredible things written by university professors when they're motivated by money. So when you look at, oh yes, but this device has got all these studies, clinical studies and all that. Yes. Yes, it's true. University professors are written them, but they're making lots of money out of it. So that is the point. They've got monetary incentives to prove certain points. The system does not, okay, oh yes, the system doesn't spread heat to the surrounding areas, meaning it is perfect to operate on areas such as eyelids. Now, I'll just read this thing again. The system does not spread heat to the surrounding areas, meaning it is perfect to operate on areas such as eyelids. What they actually say that is, they've actually written it down. Basically, you have with this amazing plasma, you have the skin, the heat only on the epidermis and not on the dermis, and it doesn't actually go deeper than the dermal layer. As we'll see in another presentation, it does, and it does so well that you've got swollen eyes. Your skin swells, so it's actually not true. And they even write it down. Doctors write it down. Yeah? Doctors. In medical application, Arkin is marketing with more straightforward scientific ways. So, but this is the way in aesthetics when doctors are trying to market things to you and companies are marketing things to you. But when you actually go and read the actual medical journals, the medical manuals and everything, when they actually talk about electrocoagulation, all of a sudden, all these terms go away and is also comprehensible. I mean, if you have time, just go and read the textbooks yourselves. Everything is dead simple in there. But then when you look at sublimation, even I had the same, what the heck is that? Plasma sublimation? Fourth state of the matter. Oh yeah. And then they say fourth state of the matter, but it's not as if they're conning you. Then nobody's conning any, because it's actually true. The plasma or electrical arcing is an ionization of the gases, therefore is the fourth state of the matter and so on. But they have to package it to you in order to charge you a lot of money, especially if they're actually charging you 12,000 euros or 20,000 US dollars for an electrical arcing device. You can actually say, okay, giving you an electrical arcing thing, 20,000, come on. Are you going to buy it? But if I say it's electrical arcing, oh yes, I'm going to buy it. If it's fourth state of the matter, and then you don't actually take the bother to realize what it is. Nobody tells you what it is. This is why we've been a thorn in their back, because we made so many videos explaining exactly what these things are, and even putting out our own design on the line, exactly telling you what's outside that box in there, the beauty tech. We tell you exactly what it is, and we have no problem about even showing you the waveform. We've got pretty much all devices, even the most expensive ones. So we've got solids, we've got liquids, we've got gas, and we've got plasma. Yeah, okay, that's true. So we've got gas, we've got plasma, solid, and liquid. Although it seems quite amazing, people charge a lot of money just to show you these pictures. Yeah? It's very simple. Any questions about that? No questions? Any confusion about fibroblast and other things? No? No questions? In this case, we seem to be quite clear. Yeah? Okay. Now, let's talk about devices here now. Now, our mission is to make electrical arcing devices, plasma devices, fibroblast, whatever you want to call it, widely available in the market. For this thing, we need two ingredients. The first one is knowledge. These devices are extremely useful. The reason why they're so ubiquitous is because they're extremely useful and they actually beat lasers and many things. And you are in a lucky spot, not only because you're in South Africa, we're able to understand, even sell the numbing products. In Europe, we cannot even imagine about selling an EMLA outside a pharmacy. Not possible, we go to jail. So, and also you're lucky enough because there's a trade agreement between Europe and South Africa. Therefore, whatever we can actually legally sell in Europe, we can actually get in South Africa as well and use it in the same ways. Therefore, you have a tool that has been marketed to doctors, and doctors have marketed it for blepharoplasty and so on, but we call it eyelid tightening and so on. So we are giving all this knowledge as much as possible to everyone, to the world. But the other thing that is happening is that not only have we come out into the market with the beauty tech, but there's other devices. I'll just show them to you briefly. The beauty tech, you may know the beauty tech, but it's there in this black box. This device is absolutely amazing. It's got, I think, how many power levels? 10 power levels. 10. This device here, this parrot, they call it the maglev. It's got 2 power levels. Okay, our device, the beauty tech, has got 32 power levels. Somebody has the Accord device. How many power levels does the Accord device have? It's 1. Oh, interesting. Interesting. How many power levels does the Plexer have? Have.
There's got 3 and 6 with a power level each.
Can you please say it again?
Plexer has 3 devices.
Yeah.
3 and 6.
Yeah.
1 per.
Yes.
So you have about 3 devices.
3 power levels, 3 devices.
Sure.
Yeah. So look at what you're getting. All fixed frequency. All fixed frequency. So do your research. But anyway, we're trying to enlighten you as much as we can. But what I'm asking you to do is just, before you buy anything, ask for the technical specifications. We even had a company replying back to someone that we know, saying that they wouldn't give out the technical specifications because they're a trade secret.
Because they what?
It's trade secret. Guess, I mean, we've got it in writing, yes? We've got that in writing. Guess who that was? Accor. We have it in writing as the technical specifications as a trade secret. Why? Why? Because basically, well, okay, let's do this. Yes, I've got one power setting as a pen. You get this thing. You get this thing. It's got 10. It's got 10. God, I can't believe it. You get ours. It's got 32. 32 power levels per battery configuration. It's got two batteries configuration. It's a marketing exercise, so make sure you know what you're buying. Now, I'll give you some examples. I'm going to start with the one, Accor. Power settings, 1. Let's go. I said price. I'm actually going to say the price. So I know the latest I know. Please check with the manufacturers. Check with the distributors, whoever. I'm not sure. The news I've got is in the region between 4 to 5K. Please, you may get discounts. Go ask them. Okay. Euros. K, euros, okay, euros. K, thousands. We're talking 4 to 5,000. Next level up, the super duper with, I'll introduce you, the only one with multiple patents the world over. The world patents, yes. They threaten you with letters from lawyers. Yes, trademarked in Japan. United States. The Plexer. Oh yeah. Let me write it big. How many power levels you said it? 3.
But 3 pens.
1 power level per pen. Just let me go this. It's absolutely amazing here. Eh? How much?
240,000 rand in South Africa.
240,000. How much is in euros?
Euros is about
Divided by 18,
15.
Okay, say 15,000 euros. Okay, 15,000 euros. 15K. Okay, 3 power. But it's right. Come on. 1 power level. I've got 5. Multiplied by 3. I've got. Come on. They did the maths here, yeah? They did the maths. Okay, then...
If I can just say something here, this is all being recorded and it's going online, eh? So it doesn't... the other companies would listen to you online what you're saying.
Yeah. The point is...
He's telling the truth.
So by the way, because we've put all this information, I mean, we even wrote it on our website, comparison tables and so on. We're waiting on the lawyer's letter. The problem is that it's not as if... It's true, and we can prove it. I mean, it's not as if I'm... so...
But you cannot purchase a Plexer, even if you...
I have it.
Yeah, but when you make an inquiry, they say you must be a doctor. It's only a doctor.
Yeah, I got my mum to buy it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Spent 7,000 euros. Oh, God. I'll give you the story. I'll tell you about the Plexer. We're gonna say... I'm not going to run them down. I cannot, because I've done an excellent work in marketing these things. An excellent work. They've got the medical certification CE, medical, which is quite expensive to get. And so I'll give you a story. It was, 2012, my mum was having an operation, and I was there thinking, well, what business am I going to get into? And my mum said, oh, by the way, I've got my friend of mine who's going to go to this seminar, so to speak. I said, okay. And I went there, was a doctor, and I seen this Plexer thing, and then I looked at this, I said, Electra, what is it? And they were I actually seen this freaking the doctors forking out thousands of euros, saying, "Oh, I'll buy one. No, I can't. Really, they were actually buying this thing. I was seeing this training and all that, and then I looked at it. Said, "What is it?" I realized it was an Arkin device. How much was it? It was very, very expensive. I thought, And then at the time, they were actually selling it they're three, but I mean, not in a box. They're selling it not separately, but you could actually individually buy them individually. So they were only selling the white one, really, because no one was buying the green and the red, because with the white one, you could do everything. So 2,000 euros each, they're only buying the white one. So they had a brilliant idea. How can we actually make sure that they're going to pay top price for it, top price? So they designed a box. The box has, because we have it, has inside a battery, a motorbike battery inside, battery from a motorbike. No joking, it's true. It's a motorbike, one of the scooters. Use it for igniting the ignition of the engine. The circuitry. So basically, the way it works is you plug it in. A circuit recharges the battery of the motorbike. Then it's true. It's true. We got it. I mean, I'm like, please send me the lawyer's letter. And then the battery in turn charged the three devices. So that box weighs 7 kilograms. So you have a very heavy thing, whereas before, a year before, that was in 2013, I said, Mom, can you please ask them to give him the thing on the stand? So freaking, it's heavy to carry. And said, no, they're only going to sell it that way. So, yeah, and basically you carry this thing with the 3 hand pieces inside the box. It looks nice, right enough. It does look nice. But imagine carrying this thing, and then they sold it to my mom. Doctor, don't worry. But the charge lasts for 3 hours. It's okay. It's freaking carrying this 7 kilograms around. And then I opened it. I found the battery. I thought, okay. Then with my dad, because I'm an electrical engineer, and with my dad we opened the circuitry and look at, seriously? It's like the igniter of the kitchen. What the hell? Well, they conned me. 7,000 euros for this. Oh God. So, and then we went to design our own device, the Beauty Tech. That was in 2013. But I mean, you see the logic. If they're charging 4 to 5, obviously for 3 power level, we've got to charge 15. Come on. Come on. Yeah? Okay. That goes in there. So in order to give you an overview of what we've got in here right now, again, this device, and you asked Nora for prices, this device with 10 power levels, you can, Nora, I think they can actually play with it if they like.
Yeah, absolutely. We've just brought them with his recommendation.
This device, you may know, and then the Beauty Tech. Now, the Beauty Tech comes with 10 power levels, 2 power levels, 32 power levels. The power levels are important in our opinion because it allows you to work in different ways. And we made sure when we designed the Beauty Tech that we are better than the best device and there is so far. The best in terms of marketing is the Plexer device. So we made sure that the lowest power level of the Beauty Tech is far lower than the white one. And we made sure that the highest power level actually surpasses by far the power level of the red. So you've got a much better performing device than the most expensive that you can buy as a high brand. Then they came with a criticism to me personally. They made sure I closed down one of the first company that we used in order to do this project. And then they made sure, because obviously we came onto the market with something that was cheaper and many times better, because the power levels were actually proving it, is far lower power level, far higher power levels, 32 power levels, you can do much more quickly, it's much cheaper. And you don't need to carry around a 7 kilograms bag, you just carry around that little device around, and you can actually work much better with more power levels. So what they said is, but there's no before and afters. So what we've done since 2014 up until today, we're still doing it to this day, and they can actually argue anymore. We have built one of the largest case studies that there is. You cannot, if you go on voltaicplasma.com, only a few of them have been published. We're working to publish more and more because we still have loads to publish. And we are the only ones so far who have not only the before and after healing progression, before treatment, healing progression and afters. Whereas the plex are always the same, before and after, before everyone else's before and after. Do you really know whether it was that device? In our case, they cannot actually make any argument anymore because we are the leaders, because we provide all this. So when you're buying a device, depends on what you're looking for. If you're entry level, if you don't have it depends on what your business is like. There's certain businesses that say, look, I'm only a beauty therapist working on my own. I'm not going to spend 4,000 euros to buy something expensive. I want to get the cheapest thing that can take me from A to B. Therefore, I'm going to buy an entry-level thing. So, and this is why we like these devices made in China. They do the job. They take you from A to B, and they do it inexpensively, relatively inexpensively. And whereas if you're a more established business, you still want to have a brand name, and this is what we're able to provide right now. Not only the brand name, but our device has got loads of power levels. And if you have a business is already established and you want to say that you're using something that's world-renowned, you can buy the beauty tech. It comes at a higher price, yes, but if they Google Areton and beauty tech, they find the best training there is. They find lots of references online. So you can actually start from something that is accessible, going to the beauty tech, and then if you don't want to buy our device, you can still have the Plexer, the Accor. But then the other thing that we're going to do in hopefully 2019, we're going to come up with the very best device there is, plasma device there is on the market. But some videos have been put out there, but we're going to do the full training on this device in the coming months before the end of the year as we develop this product. Hopefully I made the situation clearer.
Just now, so Andreas believes that not everybody coming into the plasma world can afford to pay high end, okay? If you can afford it, then, I mean, I would love to drive a Ferrari, but I can only afford a Fiat. But they're both going to take me from A to B. They're both motor cars. They both switch on, they both run with petrol. They're going to do the same job, okay? So you have an entry-level pen, and that's nice for people who are just coming into the plasma world. The entry-level pens, like our pens have high, low. So when most of your work you're going to do on low, okay? Like Andrea says, even if you don't see the spark, it is there, you just have to practice a bit. It's just your distance and the gas coming into contact with negative body flow. But they have a high, and yes, they're made in China. But guys, I don't know whether you realize it, Andreas lives in China. He lives in China. He works with all the factories that manufacture all the pens. He knows them by name. He knows where we got the blue pen. He knows where we got the orange pen.
But by the way, sorry,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to say something. This is, even Nora said it, we've got a German device.
Yes, I did.
Hang on a second.
It came from Germany.
That maglev, yeah, maglev. And I got actually an inquiry yesterday from somebody in Canada showing me that device. It's made in Germany. Hang on, Nora, just a second. I just sent a few links from Alibaba. Hang on, is it not the same one?
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Mine is from a company in Germany.
Yeah, you bought it from a company in Germany, yeah.
You said to me, can't you? They're getting it from China.
Oh yeah,
The
okay.
point is, girls,
But in Canada the same. Sorry.
could I ask you?
Canada's using that same advice.
Yeah.
They're a huge plasma company in Canada.
Can I ask you guys, where is my Apple made?
China.
Yeah.
Where's your Samsung made? It's made in China. Okay. Americans have an expression. The Harley Davidson was invented in America and perfected in China and Japan. Because now you just have to switch on. You don't start anymore. They perfect a thing. Okay, so people have this resistance, especially in South Africa. Oh, I don't want to get that Chinese trash. He says, we were chatting to Andreas last time. He says everything's made in China and shipped to the world, and then they brand it made from Germany. There's another machine that's being advertised made in Korea. And he laughed. He said, no, I know that machine. It's made in China. And then they just claim it's made in Korea. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. So our machine, Andreas is now, he is going to keep, would you explain to them about keeping the entry-level pens as well for the
Yes,
girls?
well, for I think 18 months now, because we've had only the Beauty Tech, and we were working on the high-end device. We're still working on the high-end device. But we had so many people, well, many inquiries, and we put the price out, and we don't always get the we get it on a low percentage of the cases, the order, because it's not as if we're very cheap with a Beauty Tech. But then what we find is that we had loads of inquiries about people saying, well, I've got this, I got this one, I got that one, but I don't know how to use them. I bought them online, or I bought them here and there. And I said, well, look, can you please leave us alone? You don't buy anything from us. Well, how can we help you? We don't really know. And that's true, because we don't know how, well, their settings, we don't know much. But then we kept thinking, our mission is making these devices easily accessible. Part of the job is making the training easily available and really, really good for everyone to use, because we're not going to be able to give you all the knowledge in these 3 days. Although, please, pick my brain as little as I've got with my old Pentium. You may have better processors, but pick as much as possible. Use me. Please do use me. Keep me late. I don't mind. If you want to date me another occasion, please do, because I'm going to be tired. And then we scratched our head. What should we do? What should we do? And then we find a way to resolve this problem. Basically, what we're going to do with these devices, we're going to, because I spend loads of lengthy of time. I speak Chinese, and I spend some good amounts of time in China. It's exactly where these things are made. And I know the factories because I've been there. So what we're going to be able to do is just test them individually, double check their design and so on. So when they're actually shipped out from us, we know what is shipped out and what power settings they are. We're going to sell them at markup, but they're going to be cheaper than the Beauty Tech. So for people who are saying, well, I'm not very well established, because we found a number of them, they have the option to buy something cheaper, but with good backup, good training, and insurable devices. Because up until now, because there's no training, there's no information, you buy them, there's not even a proper manual there. You buy them, you have an uninsurable treatment. So if something goes wrong, who are you going to ask for? The Ghostbusters? No, there's no CE mark, there's no place of manufacture, there's no contact number, nothing. So basically, even in technically they're illegal, but it's not a big deal, because that can be actually being sorted out. So what we're going to do is we're going to test them. We're going to make sure that they're okay. Not only that, but we're going to, when they're shipped out, we already test them. We know what calibration they use. And then we can say, look, you use this power level for this power level for that, and so on. The same thing that we've done for our design, the Beauty Tech. The Beauty Tech, if you go on beautytech.com website, we can show you shortly. I'm just a bit lazy at the moment. We have a table where you can actually, we'll tell you this power level for eyelid tightening, this power level for this other thing. I might as well do it right now instead of actually talking about it. I'll do it right now. So if you, so look, here you've got, by the way, you've got the technical specifications, the trade secret we give away. Okay, we have got no trade secrets. Market comparison, we didn't actually put the Accord device in there because at the time it wasn't that widespread. And I'm gonna show you, what was I showing you? What was I showing? Oh yes, the FAQ. So, yes, beauty tech protocols. If you go there, it's a simple table. One of our distributors said, hang on a second, how about you just make a nice table? And here, if you buy this beauty tech, because we know, because we calibrate it ourselves, we know exactly how actually to tell you how to use them. But if you buy from other sources, say for example this device here, you can buy from different sources online on Alibaba or anything. Depending on who you buy it from, you have different calibrations. So all of a sudden we've got, if we buy one and you buy one, your one could be different to ours. But if we actually have in this type of control, quality control, we know what we're supplying to you. So we're able to actually give you reliable instructions all of a sudden. And the same applies with all these entry-level devices while we wait for the top device on the market. And our strategy is, we already have the best training there is, which is online. Anything that we do that is new, we put online. If you want to know about tattoo removal, eyelid tightening, the nuances, anything that you'd like to know, you just go online, you just look at the voltaicplasma.com. If you want to make sure that you've got the right knowledge to work safely, you just take the online test and you download your certification and so on. We constantly scratching our head to try and give you as many tools as possible to make your life as easy as possible in your businesses. So in order to make money safely and alleviate as much pain as possible, because if you don't have these tools, then you're going to do what we have done. As I say, you're going to learn from scratch, or going to learn from a supposed 2-day course, which is actually not giving you much. So we've done that, but then later on what we're going to do is not only cover the low end of the market, when you say low end, cheap, medium, which is the beauty tech, and then the higher end, the top one, which is going to be coming in the market in hopefully in next year. Any questions? Okay, please.
When you do the eye area,
Yes.
can it go blue in cases?
Blue. Bruised. We haven't seen any. I haven't seen any, no.
I've heard from one of the companies, their pen is supposed to be coming from Germany, but I know it's coming from China. And they say that when they use their pen, obviously eye area is quite delicate. A lot of people actually bruise.
We haven't seen. I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one. Even with the supposedly done with the Chinese devices. Okay, no one. Please.
If they're injecting local anesthetic, they can bruise from the needle.
It is possible. Yes. Don't use any. Yeah. It is possible. That is possible. Please don't use any lidocaine, injectable lidocaine. There's no need for it. Sorry.
We can't in this country unless we are doctors.
Oh yes. I mean, no. Even in Europe, no. It's not. There's not even. There's no point. I mean, why would you inject? It's only a good numbing product and you're gone. I mean, you're done. Why would you want to get? Sorry? But if you're allowed to use a stronger product, you can wait just 5 minutes and you're done. You're just numb completely. With that numbing, do you remember a numbing product that was 20% lidocaine, 5% prilocaine, 5% tetracaine? That one, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, no occlusion, you're done. You put it on, you keep talking about the treatment. By the time you're finished talking, you've done your talk, you can start the treatment, and you just remove it little by little. And you just remove a little, you do the treatment, remove a little more, you do the treatment, yeah?
So everybody, do you understand? Andreas is going to be keeping all those pens that you see there. You come in at what entry you want to come in at. He's getting those pens from exactly the same place we're getting them from. But he will support them. He'll give instructions on them. He'll give instructions how the low and the high works. He'll give you the specifications of them. And if you have problems, you can return the pen to us. We'll give you a loan device to work with, and we'll send it back to Andreas, and Andreas will look after it for us and send it back to you. And in the meantime, we're going to keep stock of loan pens. If your device is not, you feel it's not performing the way it should.
Oh.
Just last night, I was demonstrating a device, another one that he's just brought in, and him and I were having a look at it. And I said to Andreas, I'm not getting a plume at all. I'm not getting a spark at all. And he said, oh, you are? I said, no, I'm not. And because now it's like, this is another pen, and I'm looking at it, I'm testing it on low. And he said, give me that pen, give me that pen. Spark. I said, well, what am I doing wrong? And he said, that's the thing, you must practice.
Yes.
He says, I know exactly the distance I need to work. And it's just practice. And he proved it to me. I couldn't get a spark out of it, and he just took it and he got the spark.
We've got
Different.
one question on our questionnaire, online questionnaire. I was having fun making it. It was 2 years ago. And I made a question. I mean, in order to generate the spark at the minimum power level, I do require a degree from Harvard. Hang on. People said yes. Or I do, and then the other one was, if I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not going to be able to generate that spark properly. They actually picked that one. They did. So what I'm trying to say here is, expect some people getting a bit upset. Okay. Because we are actually getting into the, obviously, we're upsetting a bit of the market here. Okay, so we're telling things as they are. We're making the confusion clarity. We even have people. We had in Johannesburg saying, "Oh, but they say that that device is not a true plasma because the arc is red." And then we got other people. No, your arc is blue. It's not true plasma. And then we had again, from memory, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody actually mentioned to me that a particular company said they're the only true plasma because they use nitrogen. It is true. They use nitrogen because air is made out of 78% nitrogen. It's true. It's true. That particular company over there, yes. That particular company. You didn't say, it was someone else actually told me. I think, yes, it's true, but they're actually not the only ones because pretty much everyone uses air. They don't use anything. It's used in air. So it's this sort of thing. They try to give you lots of smoke screens, but they're very short-lived anyway. Just as a final note, what we can use all these devices for is aesthetic applications only. Not curing diseases, not removing warts. We're not actually saying that we're performing a blepharoplasty because it's not possible, even with the devices where they claim they can, and they've got even medical, it's not possible to perform a blepharoplasty. It's not a blepharoplasty. It's an eyelid tightening as such. So yes, that's pretty much the gist of it. If you buy, say, for example, the device that we mentioned before, the Plexer, the advantage that you have if you're a medical doctor, you can remove warts. You can say is a medical device. But with these devices here, they're all for aesthetic applications, which you can actually use it for. Yes, please.
I see on there they mentioned spider veins as well.
Yes, the red veins, yes. The red veins. The superficial ones, yes. Nora's tried it. We've tried a number of times with very good results. Yes, extremely good. In my opinion, it's not the best way of doing it, but still it does the job. It takes you from A to B. The new device is going to have another way of doing it, which is using a waveform which is 30 megahertz. It's got the advantage that it's not as painful as using electrical arcing. That's the, please.
That one was a 32 settings.
Yes. It's the middle one is, yeah, 32 is the Beauty Tech. It's not new. It's been on the market for now, what?
What is your new one going to be called?
I don't know at the moment. We haven't actually. We're only designing at the moment. We're designing it. Once we're finished designing it, then we test it. We make sure it's okay. Then we're going to give it a trademark.
And will you be coming again for training on that one?
If you ladies treat me well, you take me out. Yes. I will. I can even move here. Instead of being in the UK. No, that's it. Yeah, and certainly, no, but the country's really nice. There's really nice people, really welcoming. Oh, yes, do you want me to write it? Yes? Do you want me to write it? Yes, I'll write it right now, but I'll show you something else. Girls. I'll call you girls, not ladies, because you're so young. If you go on market comparison, beautytech.com market comparison, you find a table. There's not the accord, because at the time it was done in 2015. Because the recurring question is, what is your device doing that other devices don't? So, we've got the black, I call it black, okay? At the moment. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's call it maglev. Lev. It's got 2 per settings. Prices, please ask Nora. The black has got 10, and Beauty Tech has got 32 per battery configuration, 2 battery configurations. There's another thing which I haven't actually talked about a lot. In here, there's a lot of marketing. If you buy the Plexer and you've got an established clinic, you are motivated to a certain extent to have a brand name. And if you type Plexer, you're going to get a lot of information. So if you've got an established business, you may want to invest a bit more money on something that people can recognize. Beauty Tech, like this, actually is surpassing this already, because we have, instead of having the clinical studies signed by the doctors, which are obviously is actually written in words, and there's before and after pictures. Here we've got loads of before and after pictures, and with the evidence and the healing progression, you can actually access it. It's there for everyone to see. And if you type our name, you'll find lots of references. And then something that we haven't done so far, stupid us, we're going to do it by the end of this month, publish all the the list of all the users of the Beauty Tech, as far as we know, because many sales are done through distributors. We don't know them all, but we're going to publish them so you can have those as references as well. Whereas, yes, if you buy the maglev or the black, the disadvantages may be that there's not much information in terms of results as yet. But if we put our name on it, then it may be a different story.
Well,
please.
How much is your Beauty Tech?
The Beauty Tech is 55, and that little black one I need to price. I haven't priced it yet. It's not as good quality as the maglev, definitely not. You can confirm that.
The black one.
The little black one.
although it's got 10
I have to test it. Well, the little black, I prefer, if you give me the choice, same price I buy the black one. Because it's got 10 power levels. The lowest power level, I mean, because I compared that similar one. Again, that's the problem by buying online. What you buy online changes drastically. Depends on who you buy from on eBay, one seller from another, or Amazon, one seller from another. because they come from different factories. What happens in China is everyone copies from everyone. Seriously, they do. This maglev thing, they've got factories in Beijing making them, factories in Guangzhou making them, in Shanghai. In different places, they actually make it and assemble them. What they do is they open them up, copy them, and also sometimes they've got the access to the same molds, so they go to the same factory and say, well, I need so many casings. So they make them, so they know that that factory sells them, so they make them as well, and they try to sell them. That's the way it works in China. So you can actually get the same device made by different companies, but their settings is different, their calibration is different. So the last time I tried the black one, it was absolutely amazing. The lowest power setting was very low, and the highest was quite high. It was really good, I think. Well, but from what I've tested, I personally like the black one, whereas the maglev one has got only two.
All I can say is that I've been working with, those are my private machines, the blue and the orange there. On mine you can see my name's even on them, on the boxes and on mine. And I just have both on charge all the time. And if I see my battery's going down and start giving me my spark, then I just go and pick up the other one, the blue and the orange. And all the girls, and I don't think anybody that's been working with them, we have beautiful before and after results. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. We've got them, all the girls are posting them on the group all the time. So we really are getting beautiful results. So I'm not saying don't buy the plasma, don't buy the beauty tech. Of course, that's our inspiration, is to have the beauty tech. But if you can't afford it, don't not do plasma until one day you can afford the beauty tech. One day you will have a Ferrari, but buy yourself a Ford to start off with. You know what I'm saying? You can still drive a car. So what I'm saying is I've never worked with a beauty tech, and I've got beautiful, beautiful results. And on our group, the results like, wow, and that stuff with the blue or the orange pen. Mm-hmm. So please don't not enter the industry because you can't afford the beauty tech. You can afford it.
The orange or blue is 8, and then the beauty tech's 55.
Yeah. We don't know. Andreas has just brought it to us. He found it as well in China, and he said, look, and we opened it up in front of him. He hadn't seen it, so we still need to check it out. We don't even know the costing of it yet. Okay. So we're going to keep all three. We're going to keep the three of them. And
I think it's the same.
And the machine that you use?
They're not the same. Again, they're made very likely make it in different factories. Very likely. I don't know. I'm not. I've noticed it's that different setting in terms of different calibration, but not much more. I tried them both. They both do the same job. I think is that maybe the blue one is slightly lower setting, lower calibration. But because I'm very good at making the plan. Do you have one? Sorry? You already bought it. You already bought it. Oh, thank you for that. But I'll show you. I can show you later on, or even in a second. I can actually generate the arc on both. But
we will have to go practice with the one that we both your machine, the beauty tech, the Mercedes. They told us it was going to work, so we hope it can work, but we will have to go practice with it, obviously, for the working on the practice around to get the arc. But you can show.
Yeah, I can actually show you how I can actually make the arc on with your device. I'm sure I can do it with that. Sorry.
Wednesday we've got private training.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Use me and abuse me, please. I beg you, as long as you please allow everything to be recorded, so you've got to put it online, yes? Please. But really use me and abuse me. Huh?
Don't worry.
I cannot, I'm old, I cannot hear well. Half an hour. Do you want me to dance?
No,
What? I think this dance is better. Is the music on? No. Please.
Stretch marks.
What about stretch marks?
Treating stretch marks.
Uh-huh.
Have you had any experience with
I've done a few, but I'm yet to wait for the results.
I've seen some.
Yes,
I
what
don't
have
know
you
if
seen?
it is successful.
Have you actually seen the results?
No, just demonstrations, not befores and afters.
It's the same. We've done a few, and always we actually, whoever does the treatment tomorrow and so on, please send us the pictures. We're going to, as a sign of gratitude, we're going to do the case study. We're going to put your name if you want. Yeah? So, courtesy of, please. So the problem with stretch marks is we didn't get the results back. Any other questions? Okay, so we're going to move on.